What's up, guys? Rick here with your Jock Market preview for this week's Northern Trust. If you're new to Jock Market, it's a stock market type fantasy game that I play for golf, but I was kind of clicking around NBA as well, which is a lot of fun because you can essentially buy and sell golfers as if they were stocks, and you can watch their value rise and fall over the course of a tournament and make your trades throughout the actual event. And we've had a couple of really good events for trading over the past couple of weeks. I think we're going to get another really good event this week with the top 125 playing at the Northern Trust. And I know a lot of you have also enjoyed it because you're sending me screenshots about how things are going and you're winning money, which is really great. There are free rolls going on right now. And then there's, it's just like a really great structure. And I think there's been some overlays as well. So now's a really good time to get in, but I'm also getting a lot of questions about maybe the strategy and how this all works, because I think it can be a little confusing. It can be a little, difficult to kind of grasp at first, but when it clicks, I think a lot of it is really cool. And I know they've got some really sweet things to come. So I wanted to just, before I jump into the buy and sell of the IPO phase that is now open, I want to talk through some of the terminology and how this actually works a little bit more, because I might not have done a good enough job or maybe a bit of a disservice on that. And Jock Market puts out a lot of really cool stuff. So I want to show you a few things here. So I actually stumbled upon Jock Market's blog, which I think is really cool that they put this stuff out here. And this is an article from March about what fair value means for Rory McIlroy. And I think just knowing what fair value means in general is going to be important. Fair value essentially looks at, the range of outcomes for a golfer based on their odds and determines what their fair value would be. So how much you should pay for them. And if you are higher or lower on that golfer, you can kind of decide what is your value for him. So I'll walk you through just kind of step by step here. What I think is smart is using Vegas odds. You can see the outcomes for different players, right? So, based on Rory's outright number and where, what percentage of the time he's going to finish between first and then top 5 and top 10 and top 20. When you put all of that together and you look at the Jock Market payouts, essentially you can calculate what a golfer's fair value is. So, for example, and this is from a couple of weeks ago, so don't look at this for this week at the Northern Trust, but this is a really good chart here. 16% of the time, Rory McIlroy is going to receive the full first place payout on Jock Market. 27% of the time, he's going to finish between second and fifth. 15% of the time, he's going to finish between sixth and 10th. 14% of the time, he's going to finish between 11th and 20th. 21st to 65th, he's going to finish in there about 18% of the time. And he's going to miss the cut about 7.4% of the time. So when you put all of that together, it says that his fair value is 25.81 chips, which corresponds to about a 7th place finish. So that's the key. The key is knowing what the fair value number is so that you can say, well, I think Rory's going to do better than 7th. I'm willing to pay more than fair value, or I'm willing to pay less than fair value because I don't think he's going to be able to get there. Or maybe I don't want to bid on Rory McIlroy or buy him at all. So really understanding what the fair value for a golfer is key. Now, what's even better is Jock Market also started putting out a spreadsheet of all the fair value numbers. Okay, so this was actually emailed out. I think if you are on Jock Market, like if you played Jock Market, you've received this email. It is literally a link. This is after my heart. Literally a link to a Google Doc. Like I could not have asked for anything better than this. Of all the golfers and their fair value. So now I'm looking at this completely different. It's one thing to be flipping through the app and going, oh, I think so-and-so is going to do better. Like now I can actually look at this. So what this has is the projected fantasy points for every golfer. Their ranking in terms of fantasy points. So in this case, Colin Morikawa, actually the number 1 ranked player on Jock Market this week, and then using what Vegas odds indicate the fair value should be. So that's kind of the big difference there. And then the position. So this says fair value rank. I'm actually going to change this to fair. Wow, I cannot type. We'll call it fair finishing position. Okay, because that I think is really how I was able to wrap my head around this. So the way this reads, Bryson DeChambeau, his fair value of 10 chips in the IPO phase to finish 12th or better, essentially. That's his fair finishing position. If I believe Bryson DeChambeau is going to finish, say, 5th place or better, or I think he's going to win it, I should be willing to pay more than 10 chips for him in this IPO phase. So now when I look through this, I'm like, wow, okay, well, first of all, Dustin Johnson stands out to me in a big way. Obviously, he's one of the more volatile golfers, but we're talking about a fair finishing position of 20th place. I like that a lot. We're talking about Daniel Berger. 23.5 is his fair finishing position. Well, he's been piling up top 15s all over the place. Do I think he can finish 15th again? If so, I should be willing to pay more than $6.76 cents for him, or 6.76 chips for him. So this really, for me, was a game changer. To be able to put this into a spreadsheet, and now I can manipulate this spreadsheet any way I want, right? If I want to bring in my own custom rankings, or I want to start doing calculations, this is now a big time game changer. And then I can just open the app and go after the guys that I want in IPO. This is big for me. So just kind of scrolling through here, trying to see if there's anybody else. Where's Sungjae? Look at Sungjae. I'm definitely going to be bidding a lot more than $4.75 on Sungjae. I can tell you that right now, considering I think he's going to finish significantly higher than his 36th place fair finishing position. But this is really interesting now to see the differences between the ranks, the fair value, and the fair value finishing position. It's really fun stuff here. So what I'll do is, now knowing this, I've got a couple of targets. So let's see who we have. I'm going to actually bold them here so I don't forget. So I like Dustin Johnson. I like Daniel Berger, and I like Sungjae Im. So I'm going to just go find those guys. So those are the three that I really want to target in IPO. And then I'll leave some chips on the table to potentially make some trades in-game. And actually what I plan on doing is I'm going to make some trades in-game this week at the Northern Trust, and I'll actually include that in the video for next week at the BMW Championship, because I'm also getting a lot of questions about some opportunities and some strategy for in-game, which I think is really important as well, and we haven't really dove too much into that. So let me open up the Jock Market app now, and we'll try to make a couple of bids on these three golfers, and then we'll really focus on fair value for this week in the IPO phase. And then in next week's video, I'll also include some live trading stuff as well. So here we go. I'm going to open the app right now. All right, so here's the Jock Market app, and now I feel like I have a much better plan heading in here instead of just kind of scrolling through. So let's find, okay, so here's Daniel Berger off the top here. And IPO just kind of opened a little bit ago. But we're gonna make some bids here on Berger. And now knowing that his fair finishing position is 23.5, his fair value is 6.76, I'm actually gonna bid just a bit more than that. I'm gonna try 7. I wonder if you guys are going to let me get away with 7 here, which implies, a fair finishing position of kind of around 22nd place. So I'm going to try to get some Berger for 7 there. And I want, let's do 10 shares of Berger. That'll be 70-70. So we'll submit this order. And we'll obviously see, so Wednesday night, these shares will get allocated to the highest bidder. I might be outbid, so I might have to come back in here and ramp this up a little bit. But I think that I hope that I can get some shares of Berger at that price. And then who else do we want to do? We want to do Dustin Johnson. There's DJ. So we'll grab some, see if we can grab some DJ. We'll at least bid on some DJ, and we'll do buy. And let's see. Okay, so fair value 7.51. This feels so much better to have a plan going in here, quite frankly. I'm actually going to do 8.0. Again, these are obviously guys that I like, obviously the guys that I think can even outperform their fair finishing position. I want to make sure I get some shares of them, so I'm going to bid a little bit more than the fair value, hoping that I can kind of steal them a little bit. So we'll do 10 shares of Dustin, and we will submit that order. And then the last one is going to be Sung Jae, who is down here, fair value 475. And let's see if I can get Sung Jae. Now, I have a feeling, because of how popular he is, I might not be able to get him for 475. And if I really think he's undervalued, which I kind of do, I think I need to bid, let's try 525, which would be, what, 50 cents, so to speak, more than his fair value, but I think it's worth it. So I'm going to do 10 shares of Sung Jae. We'll see if I can get if I got 30 shares of these three guys at this price, I'd be thrilled, and I would be leaving myself with 45 chips to be able to deal in-game, which is critical for me. I want to try to buy some guys low as we go through this. So what a big update to be able to get access to this spreadsheet. Just feels much more like what I want to do, right? I want to, and I have a feeling this spreadsheet, so if this is what Jock Market puts out every week, I might try to add some other stuff to this and try to figure out what would be some good columns that maybe I could add that would help me identify better plays or value, because this is something here. This has now got my gears turning. So we'll see. I'll do another video next week that includes some in-game action as well, in-game trading, and we'll go from there. But this is getting more and more interesting each and every week. Let me know what you think. Tweet me at RickRunGood or leave a comment below. I'll catch you later. Good luck this week.